Welcome to 60 Skills. We will now have a reading from Initial Experiences with the Kabbalah, letter L. The letter L, dark green, high-pitched tone, L, which has a pulsing rhythmic quality to it. Lightness. The spleen does not work for this exercise as a focal point. Akasha. It represents divine virtues. Mental. It represents true morality. Astral, magical equilibrium. And physical or material, vitality. During the first sessions, I recited 9 Akashic, 69 mental, and 412 recitations. Author's note. At this point in the practice, I'd been performing 1 to 2 letters per day for about 10 days. I had also been performing the preparatory exercises for several weeks. I was passing out during individual letter sessions and my body was reaching a breaking point. The letter L was the last letter I would work with in this manner for almost 6 months. I was physically and mentally exhausted at this point, and my health was breaking down as well. In short, the letters are nothing to be randomly toyed with. The body must build something physical to work with them, and doing too much too soon will result in the body paying for it at some point. Do not be a jerk about it. Second note, I've often mentioned with the letter L using my spleen as an access point. This appears to be an incorrect location. Perhaps Bardon's secretary made a mistake in this regard. In any event, it is an issue that requires research. I flit out of the Akasha and into the mental. Something is here. Again, I fail to grasp it and cry out in frustration. As I shift from the mental to astral, I catch a glimpse of a motorcycle group with 1930s style leather caps on and it is gone. Is this something meaningful or just a mental delusion? I do not know. I continue to sail out into the astral and come to rest on a gigantic black star-filled grid or plane. It is reminiscent of my experience within my own astral matrix, but different somehow. Out in the distance is a spire glowing dark green. The guardian tells me to start practice with a 4-sided cross and that practicing the elements on this plane will reinforce elemental equilibrium and astral strength. We are switching from night, dark to light, with clouds billowing while discussing this under the matrix. The letter L cranks up your astral light and should be practiced frequently. At the end, we shook hands, and for the first time, I noticed that my teacher and the guardian from the letter E were both there. I pass out. I take a nap halfway through the astral recitations and come back. The second time is much easier. The guardian mentions to perform the fascia walk with the letter L for health for 30 minutes per day. He also mentions to reinforce food with the letters C and L in that order. We finish our discussion, and I return to my body. The sensation lately has been that the letters have been repairing something that has been long out of equilibrium. I need to meditate on that. Practice advice for the letter L. Many practitioners pursue the letter L due to its association with vitality and life extension. In theory, these associations are correct, but the primary aspect of the letter experienced initially is of detoxification and purification. The detoxification effect is potent, and I wound up being quite sick for the first few weeks of working with the letter. The effect of the letter is to cling to particles of negative material in the body and remove them. Why this was left out of the description in the third book is odd, as this is initially the most prevalent characteristic of the letter. A worthwhile aspect of the letter to explore involves the role of purification, by focusing on the purpose behind purification. The letter will reveal this if explored in the seated qualitative meditation portion of the exercise. The practitioner will be taken to a very specific place. It is not what most would expect to find, and although not dangerous, may be shocking in an odd way. An interesting part of this is that veganism is ultimately damaging, and the only superconductors in nature are dead, lifeless things. One interesting piece of information I came across during the training of the letter was that excess carbohydrate consumption damages mitochondrial DNA in the human body. Repair of this takes 90 days of minimal to no carbohydrate consumption, along with the use of specific drugs. I am unaware of what these drugs would be, but I am sure this would be an interesting line of research for the right person. The end. That was the letter L. Enjoy your meditations and be well.